If your computer is working well, or if it's met its demise, you can still trade it in, but time is of the essence. Today's the final day of the ultimate upgrade sale. Let's compute this with the owner of Schrock Innovations. His name is Thor Schrock, and he joins us each Monday.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Good to see you. So this is the final day, and our viewers are like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, well, we just got back from Easter. What's up with that?
Well, yeah, so remind us about the ultimate upgrade sale, and why is it a good deal for the rest of us?
Sure, so last week, I was supposed to come on and say this is the last week, but you know, in an epic planning fail, the last day of the sale ended on Easter Sunday when we were closed. So we're like, yeah, let's give people one more day. Somebody might have just put it on the calendar. So we extended it to today, which is why today is the last day. The ultimate upgrade sale is where you can trade in your old, worn-out computer. Maybe it's running Windows Vista. It's really time to move on from that. And you can trade that in toward a new computer. You can trade in for a laptop or a desktop. You can trade in a laptop or a desktop. We don't care what you trade. You could trade in an old Commodore. It doesn't have to work. You know, let's say, you know, people take all the parts out and they're like, hey, will you trade this? And it's like an empty metal box.
Like, you don't have to trick us. We would have taken it regardless.
Yeah, because we don't use any of the parts in your old computer to build your new one. You get a brand new computer, modular machine with a 1-year warranty, the whole bit, just like if you would have come in and bought a regular computer at Schrock without a trade-in, except you save $100 or more.
So you get a set value toward. So as you're trading it in, it's not like you assess the value of that device and that's how much you get off the new one.
Oh, no.
It's just a flat savings.
Yeah, this isn't Craigslist.
Yeah, okay. So what is the value if I bring something in? I save.
You're getting $200 off a desktop or $100 off a laptop.
Great.
So, I mean, you get a significant amount of discount for trading this in.
And you mentioned modular computers. Why are those better in your, I know they are in your mind, compared to something that we would find elsewhere?
My crazy, insane mind.
Right.
Yeah, in your head they might be better. No, the concept behind a modular computer is that when you go out and buy a computer from a box store, you're buying a disposable piece of technology. The way they build them now, I won't go into all the details, but if you open the side up and look inside, you can just look at it and tell it's disposable. Just like if you looked in your cupboard and you had a stack of paper plates and a stack of regular plates, which one's disposable? It's completely obvious that after a year and a half, 2 years, you're going to throw that computer away and buy another one. When you take into account all the costs of migrating your data and reinstalling your programs, and is my stuff compatible, and getting all the printers set up again and the wireless on, you know, and getting all that done, if you include all that in the cost, you're spending tons of money every 2 years on a computer. A modular computer, when we build those for you, they're built the way computers used to be built, with expansion slots and extra ports and a power supply that's not exactly what you need. It's got some margin for error, so you can add stuff like a video card if you want to.
So as your needs change, as technology changes and files get bigger and all, you can respond by expanding the computer.
Without having to throw away everything you already spent money on.
We like it.
Yeah, so it saves you money in the long run. Now we just got to get people to, it's hard to get people to shift away from the short-term cost and look at the long-term.
Well, if
so
you're saving the money, then it makes it easier.
That's what the ultimate upgrade does. It gives you the best of both. You can save some money now and save some money later.
Who would you recommend this to? Because you've done the ultimate upgrade before. Who's it most popular with?
Most popular is going to be home or small business users. They're the people who are going to use it. You know, when you buy a $400 or $500 computer, you're not going to design the next Empire State Building on it. You know, it's not built for video. You could do video editing. You could build the Empire State Building on it. But if you were going to do something like that, you would buy a more powerful computer, and you can certainly upgrade it to be more powerful. So most of the times we see people who are doing internet, Facebook, you know, some pictures, maybe a little digital photography. You know, they're playing Candy Crush, you know, maybe a little too much. You know, things like that on the computer. They're printing out things, they're doing their taxes on it. Just your basic everyday stuff that everyone does with a computer. This is a perfect machine, whether you go with laptop or desktop.
When I bring my old laptop or desktop in, what happens to it? As in, help me be confident that my personal information isn't going to end up in the wrong hands.
All right, well, first of all, you don't bring in your old computer until your new computer is ready. It takes us about 14 business days to get the computer built for you and ready for you to take home. Then you might want us to transfer your information from the old computer to the new one, something like that. So you bring in your old computer, we transfer any information that you need transferred if that's what you want. But if you decide, hey, I don't need anything off of it, whatever, you bring in that old computer, the first thing we do is we remove the hard drive. That's the part that holds all the data, all the information, all your old taxes, all that stuff is saved on the hard drive. We take that out. The rest of the computer goes to a giant grinding machine that grinds it up and melts it down, and it literally gets recycled to make new things. The hard drive gets programmatically wiped in our service center, so we have a program that we run on it that just obliterates everything. If the hard drive doesn't work, if that's why the computer is being traded in, then we physically destroy the hard drive.
Can you help transfer files over? Because that can be a real pain in the neck.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, when we do a data transfer for customers, it's not just, let me copy everything over into a folder, set it on your desktop and say,
Wish you
there's your
luck.
stuff, good luck finding it. When we do a data transfer, pictures go to the pictures folder, emails go to the emails, documents to the documents. If you had something on your desktop before, guess what? It's on your desktop now. So we try to keep it as similar as possible. Even the way we organize Windows 8, it looks almost exactly like Windows 7 when we're done with it.
That's a big bonus.
Yeah.
When we're buying a new computer, are there certain things we should look at? Because we get caught up in the numbers, right? This much storage and RAM and like, okay.
Yeah.
But are there other things we should be looking at, other factors in terms of use? Because you were touching on some of those programs earlier that we rely on, but should that be part of the conversation as we're making the purchase?
When you go in to buy a computer, what most people do is there's 3x5 cards on the shelf, and they say, here's how much memory you have, here's how much hard drive space you have, here's you know how big the monitor is that comes with it, and that's really what we buy on. Here's the processor type, and you don't know what the heck that means. It used to be if it had more gigahertz, that was better. That's not always the case now. Processors can have a lot more gigahertz and actually be slower because they're designed to work in different ways now. So we use the new APU processors that are designed to process graphics and data together, which is more efficient. So the bottom line is when you look at that, just because it has more memory, bigger hard drive, more gigahertz in the processor, does not mean it's a better computer. And we see this all the time on websites like Dell. Get your new computer for $400, and you go to their website and you pick out the $400 computer, and then they say, oh, by the way, do you want a sound card?
Well, yes.
Well, yeah, I kind of want to hear sound, so you add that. By the way, do you want to have speakers? Well, I kind of need those. By the way, do you want a keyboard? Do you want a mouse? Do you want this? By the time you're done, you're at $1,200. So you can, doing it right with that's stuff that can be very easily built into a computer. So basically what they're doing is it's called a loss leader. If they sold you the computer at $400 out the door, you wouldn't be able to get it on the internet. You would hate it, but you bought a $400 computer. But if you do it right, you're going to end up around $1,200. That's why the ultimate upgrade is so good. You get the sound card, you get the networking card, you get the hard drive, you get everything in it.
But all good things must come to an end.
At that price. Today's the last day. Can't do it forever.
Thanks, Thor.
Thank you.
Great to see you. Well,